with you.
Well, that's all right. I'm not looking at it right now, so you
Good.
can mess with it all you want.
That's what she said. Wait, no.
Just close.
He would say that to her. Right?
Somebody said it.
Welcome to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Disfatt-Bidge.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan, the Tagless Haynes.
Most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
And Matt, I.R. Regan.
Yeah, I hear you. And I definitely would take the shot on it because you'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
Welcome in to Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. Now, that was really slow music for me. I got to figure that stuff out. And bye.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Sure. We'll see. We're still in the off season, I guess, but it is coming crunch time before our redrafts start. We're trying to get through our divisional breakdowns, moving to the NFC South. But we are, guys, couple things. 45 days until NFL Sunday kickoff. So we are recording July 28th, 2022. And give or take a couple episodes, this is our 100th episode together. Would you look at that?
What?
Mm-hmm.
It's our 100th, and I made you guys late on the 100th episode. Awesome. I'm such a good guy.
Unofficially, the 100th, so we'll see.
I don't think your math's right. I don't think it's right.
Of all of us together.
Of all of us. What, did you go back and look at each episode? And we're like, all right, all three of us, two of us. Nope. All three of us.
Ballpark figures, bro. Come on. Don't get all
all
bogged down in the details. Just say, wow, okay, well, look at that. Nobody
That's
needed
what I
to know
did.
that. But thank you, Regan. Matt IR Regan in the house helping us out here. Ryan, the Tagless Haynes, who is wet drawers right now, dragging us down. And I am Mac Disfatt-Bidge. We are your hosts. We are your tippers on everything fantasy football, TV, movies, food, and
life
home
lessons.
Appliances and life lessons.
Weird noises.
And weird noises.
I got to take that thing down.
You probably
it's
should.
Air freshener.
There's a lot of things you need to take down. But, yeah, like I said, we're heading to the NFC South. We'll be giving you our tips on everything, key fantasy contributors there. We'll let you know where the rankings are at for ADP and whatnot. PPR rankings, that's what we usually go off of. But training camp, guys, it is in full extent. Full erection, I guess. Yeah. Our tips are going to come out faster than Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer's career in NFL coaching.
Aww.
But hey, they hit you hard with that. But tip-off question for you guys. What is better? Drafting early, say the beginning of August, for guys like us, experts, well, amateur experts, enthusiasts, we'll say.
Experts was in there. Amateur's fine. Experts is in there.
Yeah, okay. Enthusiasts, fantasy enthusiasts, and the takers, you takers out there listening, downloading us, Just Tip, a fantasy football podcast, much appreciated, and watch us on YouTube, rating us on Apple and Spotify, much appreciated. Share tips with your friends and family and league mates. Anyway, so you guys out there listening, you're on the game, you're on the ball. Damn it, I'd missed that one. So would you rather draft at the beginning of August, get those players that are kind of sleepers or their ADP hasn't risen too high, or would you rather wait until like all the preseason games are over? Regan, what do you prefer? Ryan,
I honestly I like doing like not exactly beginning, but mid-August. I know like our draft is the 13th. And it just just ended up like that because everyone's so busy on weekends. That's what happens. I actually love that because like we're into training camp. Anybody that has a pre-existing injury, you probably know going into mid-August, and then the new stuff you can never plan for that, and that happens in the middle of the season anyway. So who cares? Just draft them. and have fun with it.
What do you think, Ryan? You have a preference?
I do. I kind of like the middle of August as well. It's not too early, and then I also like to have some players that I can watch in the preseason. I think that kind of makes the preseason more worthwhile. But there is nothing worse than picking a guy and then that day finding out that he has some kind of practice injury that is going to lead to substantial time off. So it's risky, but I like it.
Remember that time that kid drafted Jordy Nelson and we all had the notification 5 minutes before that he tore his ACL in the preseason game? Poor bastard.
UAB Mackerson.
I think you're remembering it wrong. I don't think we withheld that information. I think it was reversed. I think he picked him, and then it was 5 minutes later we got notifications. No,
I don't think so.
We suck, man.
Next to each other, and we looked at each other and started laughing out loud. It was the best. I'm an idiot.
We're pricks.
Assholes.
Speaking of, what are you using to cover up with training camp this week?
Sweet sassy molassie.
Haynes' briefs. What do we got?
Ooh, we got a few things this week. I'm going to try to roll through them because as the offseason goes here, we're getting more and more news. First things first, news from, I believe, yesterday, Julio Jones to the Bucs on a 1-year deal. So as Mac had said, this is the NFC South episode. We're going to get into our Bucs breakdown, but this is pretty substantial here. Chris Carson, due to a neck injury, is going to retire from the NFL. Mac, remind me, what round was he drafted in?
He was drafted by the Seahawks in the 7th round, man, and he had a great career. They set him off right, too, with the contract details, making sure that he gets the money that was owed to him. So good on the Seahawks, and thank you for your service, Chris Carson. You are my favorite running back 3.
Yeah, I took a chance and traded for him in my salary cap league, and didn't pay off, but hell of a career. Next bit of news, John Mechie III, rookie wide receiver for the Houston Texans, diagnosed with leukemia, expected to miss the season. It does seem to be one of the more treatable forms of leukemia. I think there's this 90% success rate. So I think I speak for all of us when we wish John Mechie a speedy recovery, and hopefully we're able to see this guy in the 2023 season. You guys have anything to say about that?
No, you said it perfectly, Ryan.
Well, listen, next bit of news, we'll bring it back to football. Kyler Murray signs a huge deal with the Arizona Cardinals, as expected. And then these little details that have been coming out over the last couple of days about his contract. So Kyler Murray is required to watch 4 hours of film a week before he plays video games. So let's get this straight. He's an NFL quarterback, multimillionaire, and he has to have contingencies in his contract as to how much video game time he can play. Now, Tom Brady, I think, watches 4 hours of film after a game on a Sunday
on the
night.
Toilet. Oh.
Or on the
or that.
Oh, you too?
Mac, tell me how many shows do you watch in 4 hours over the week?
I mean, you can binge watch a half a season of something. I mean, Peaky Blinders, you can watch more than half the season in that amount of time. Like, come on, it's not that hard. You can do that in a night. But he got a little upset, had a press conference, was saying everybody's overblowing it. And I'm like, well, if you have a clause in your contract that way, there's something to it. So I don't know.
Hilarious.
Oh, it's hilarious. Well,
he's just not going to
play.
If we had the time,
we'd make fun of him. Oh, yeah.
I don't have to do anything now.
Whoever leaked that sucks. That is kind of Murray's worst enemy right now.
Oh, I'd be pissed if I was him.
Damn ball boys.
Riggs, this next one's for you. So the San Francisco 49ers have made it official that Jimmy G is not going to be the starting quarterback, and they're handing over the starting job to Trey Lance. Riggs, didn't we know this during the NFC Championship, the last run for Jimmy?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of been there, and they've been trying to trade him, and they've just been waiting for him to come off the injury. And I think you're kind of poking fun at me for thinking that he already got traded. And I told you guys he went somewhere, and he didn't. So I apologize.
I don't think he was, but
don't believe all your everything you read.
Listen, the
Vet your
graphics
sources.
already made, man. The graphics already made. You're ready to roll it out when it happens.
I'm ready to go. I could pop in
I
a new
like
team.
I like that landing spot.
I'm
that's a
just
good
glad
one.
Mac called me out and was like, "Hey, where'd you find this?"
No,
I was like, "Right
didn't
here,"
call you.
and it
Didn't
was
call you out.
gone.
Just vetting sources. Yeah, somebody jumped the gun. I think they're just gonna cut him. I don't think anybody's gonna trade for him. So it's gonna be interesting.
Mhm.
We'll see.
And
Plenty.
that was. Oh, go ahead, Reeves.
No, I was gonna say there's plenty of teams out there, but nobody that wants to take on his contract and can get. They're gonna get him at a discount if they wait it out. And he's injured for the most part, so who knows if he's at full 100%.
She's never had 100%. That was not a ball busting. I wasn't going to you to ball bust, Reeves. I was going to you because you love Trey Lance so much.
I don't know. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, more of a Justin Fields guy.
Yeah.
All right.
I got him in one league, so this is good news for me.
Oh, good for you.
There. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, what's next?
No one cares, Mac. All right, last bit of news. DK Metcalf. Just found this out right before the show, actually. Expected to sign a 3-year extension for $72 million, $58.2 million guaranteed, and he's staying with the Seattle Seahawks. He has trust in Geno Smith. Regan, coming back to you for this one. How down are you on DK Metcalf right now?
You know what? I actually got into the breakdown for him already, and I actually did a little markup on him, and he actually didn't do as bad as you think he did with Geno Smith. Tyler Lockett definitely got more targets than DK Metcalf, but DK Metcalf had 5 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett had 0. He definitely did more with what he got. With Geno being there a little bit longer, getting a little bit more into the system, I'm actually moving up a little bit on DK, and the fact that he's going to be there and he has a contract. I know he's not worried about playing and stuff like that. So he's actually moving up my board.
It is a little skewed with the stats, though. He had one big game at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Then he also had one big play where he throw Marshawn Lattimore down or something to get a big touchdown. But he's a big playmaker, so I'm not shying away from him. 4th round, I'm willing to take the shot on him.
Yeah, that's still a little early for me. I think Tyler Lockett had 30 targets and DK had 22. Mm-hmm. And DK, I think he caught 19 and Lockett caught less than that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I was just like looking at the targets, looking at who's actually catching the ball. I love Lockett, but it's going to be a little different. We'll get into it, but Drew Lock is definitely a better QB for DK Metcalf with his passes over the top and the ability to actually air it out. So we'll see what happens there, but that's for a different day.
Yeah, next week sometime. NFC West coming up.
That's all I got, boys.
All right,
that's all I got.
It. Thank you very much, Ryan. Much appreciated. I was going to give you guys a Scott Fish update, but for the sake of time, go and look at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just a tip, FFP. You can see our roster there. It's deep, very deep. Hopefully some stuff falls our way. Jimmy G gets in the right landing spot as our 3rd QB. So it'll be fun. Do we have time for this? Yeah, we got time for this. All right, I close it early. All right. Hurt Locker, Regan, anybody in there?
Right. So real quick, the main one is Ryan Jensen that we just saw today. Actually, on my way home from work, our jaw kind of dropped. I felt it. The center of the Buccaneers, Tom Brady's number 1 guy that is his protector in general, went down in practice today with a knee injury. They are still looking over the injury, running tests or whatever. A couple people have said it does not look good, though, at this time. So we'll see where that lands. But that's a rough one for Tom Brady. He needs all the time he can get, even though it's only like about 2 seconds or less before he throws the ball. And then the other one on here, guys, is Michael Gallup. Did he come off the pup? Is he back? But it's unrealistic that he's going to be ready for week 1.
Yeah, he's doing like off to the side workouts and stuff, but he was saying today that it's not realistic that he'll be out there for week 1. So I'm guessing pup is 4 weeks. They might put him on that for the season pup.
Not a bad late snag then. I wouldn't mind that. If he's already at practice now and then they're going to give him even more time, something late, 15th round, 14th round, if you can get him. Why not?
Yeah, probably won't fall that late, but yeah.
I don't know what his ADP is. Not really the guy I'm looking for.
Double digits now.
Is there anything else?
Nah, that's it. Really.
Yeah.
Well, no, there is a lot. I just wanted to mention something. I have a little disclaimer. It's extremely early. It's just the beginning of the camp. If people are feeling tight, players are feeling tight, they're coming off the field. Like Pat Freiermuth had some tightness, and I'm getting blown up with alerts because I have them everywhere I can. And don't worry about it. When it's something serious, we'll let you know. You can follow us, Just a Tip FFP. All right.
There was one with Marquise Brown with a hamstring injury. That's something we need to keep an eye on. Hey, I agree with you with your exact statement, but hamstrings scare the shit out of me.
Oh yeah. I mean,
something to
keep an eye on.
Green.
Don't panic. Oh yeah, AJ Green. No, Rondale Moore. But we'll get into that in the NFC West. Damn it! Why do we keep jumping ahead? Are we trying to skip this division or what?
I will.
All right, guys. Change of plans. Let's move on to the AFC West. Here.
Perhaps play a little game.
We can't. For the people, Ryan. Let's go, buddy.
He stepped all over my chop.
Stepped on your tip.
Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Not playing anymore. NFC South breakdown. Ryan, lead us off.
All right, we're going to start off with the Carolina Panthers, who have been in the news a lot lately. 4-12 in 2021, finished dead last in the division. Really no surprise there, especially after Christian McCaffrey went down. Rookies really focused on the defensive side of the ball and O-line, bringing in first round Ecam Reeks. How do you say his last name again?
Don't do this.
Iguanu, something like
Iguana?
that.
Yeah, the iguana.
The iguana, the absolute beast. And the only other notable kind of offensive player that they brought in, quarterback Matt Corral. Slim chance he sees the field now, so I wouldn't be drafting him in your redraft leagues. Recently just traded for Baker Mayfield. They also brought in Deontay Foreman, who was previously with the Tennessee Titans and had a pretty good season last year, filling in for Derrick Henry. So, boys, I just want to hit on a few notes here for the Panthers. Some things that I just want to tell the viewers here. Christian McCaffrey. I think this guy could be an absolute steal in your draft. I think we've already talked about this in the past. They're going to pass on him because of his injury history. But I still think, call me crazy, I still think he needs to be drafted in the top 3. Like, if he's healthy, even when he's been hurt the last couple of years, I was looking back on Sleeper. This dude is like 20 to 25 plus points, automatic, every single week, going to get into the 30s multiple times throughout the season. Like, he is the best dual threat option in the NFL right now. Do either of you disagree with that if he's healthy?
Can't disagree. He averaged 26 points a game last year, and he played in like 3.
That's what I mean. And Mac, you're lined up 7th pick in our draft. So if he slips to you at 7, is it C-Mac time?
Taking him all day. If I'm 1.1, I'm probably taking him. I'm taking the risk with him.
Ooh.
He is Cooper Kupp for running backs. He will be that game changer. And I'm going to take him.
Dude, I'm sitting at the 2nd pick this year. And I did this last year. I picked C-Mac, right? And
how'd that turn out?
What are the well, no, he traded him to me, so he turned out all right.
It worked out pretty well.
He got Joe Mixon and Schultz.
Shit. Oh, my God.
Oh, I had Zach Ertz, though. saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were planning ahead. All right.
If Christian McCaffrey made it, it would have been a great year
It
for
would
me.
have
But
been a
it
killer trade.
doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, he's feeling reports from camp and himself that he's best shape of his life. Yeah. No, he never felt better. So I'm willing to take the risk with him again. He's such a game changer, especially in PPR.
Fun fact: his girlfriend Olivia Culpa grew up down the street from my wife.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So moving on.
Who is that?
Got a little flush over there. The next bit of news that I want to touch on is the quarterback situation. So, Regan, is there any question? I know everyone's saying right now that there is a question. Is there any question as to who will be the starting quarterback week 1?
Absolutely not. It's Baker Mayfield without a doubt. Why would they go spend the money for him and trade for him? It'd be pointless. Really funny, though, is Baker Mayfield on his first set of reps in practice threw a pick on his first set. I was like, oh, that's so depressing.
And Sam Darnold went 11 for 14. Mac, 11 for 14 with 5 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
With the second?
He's probably going against second defense, but yeah.
Half of his passes were touchdowns. Are they starting from the 20-yard line? Are they going the length of the field? Like,
just red zones.
What is happening?
Again, scroll up to what I was saying. Don't overhype injuries. Don't overhype one day of training camp either. But
this guy's the next Tom Brady.
If you
wait
have
a second,
him,
so you don't think DJ Moore is going to get 5 80-yard touchdowns per game? Come on, man. I don't know.
No, probably not.
I'd
take the under on that.
Basically, the point I want to drive home is I agree with you, Reegs. Mayfield, I think, is the clear option. Sam Darnold has had his chances. He started off the season hot last year, but Mayfield is established, man. Like, this guy has 3 seasons over 3,500 yards. He's thrown for over 26 touchdowns twice, including his rookie seasons. He has been able to get the guys around him to have. I mean, not that this matters for the team. But for fantasy, he's had guys have success around him. Jarvis Landry finished as wide receiver 12 in 2019. And speaking of receivers, DJ Moore, who I think is far more talented than Jarvis Landry, 3 consecutive seasons of 1,100 yard plus, 93 catches last year. Each of those years only brought in 4 touchdowns. Honestly, guys, DJ Moore to me, I think with the right quarterback, and I think Baker Mayfield can be that guy, he is a few catches and a touchdown or 2 difference from Keenan Allen and being a wide receiver 1. Like, he is right there on the threshold. So I think this is the year that DJ Moore takes that jump. And right now, his ADP is 48. If I'm looking at Keenan Allen at 29, I'm looking at DJ Moore at 48. I'm passing on Allen and I'm waiting on DJ Moore, and I might even reach for him a bit. Mac, what do you think about that? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the time of year, but it's his time this year to make that jump. But they got to score in the red zone, man. For receivers, they don't score, and I'm nervous with Matt Rule, their coach. He likes to run the ball. I don't think they're going to pass much in the red zone. But maybe that's just because they didn't have confidence in their previous quarterbacks. But, yeah, looking around him, what do you want? Breece Hall, Terry McLaurin over DJ Moore, DK Metcalf that we talked about a little bit. Yeah, I'm taking DJ Moore.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Ryan, I would just take Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. That'd be pretty good.
You know what? That's actually a really good idea. But, yeah, end of the 4th, early 5th for DJ Moore. I think that's amazing value right there. But yeah, I'll take both. I'll take Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and disregard running backs. Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. So to interrupt you, I think this is hilarious because we talked about it. Everybody's going to know this by now. By the time you're listening, the Arizona Cardinals have removed the controversial independent study clause in Kyler Murray's contract. Supposedly the move happened yesterday. But
It's
okay.
because he watched 48 hours straight of footage, so that way he could remove the clause. He met his quota
Right.
for the year.
Right. Nice. Anyway,
Genius.
anything else on the Panthers here?
That's all I got for Carolina. Let's move it along.
What about Baker Mayfield? Is he worth a late pick for quarterback to see what happens?
Super flex for sure.
Yeah.
I see a lot of teams in super flex picking him as a QB3. I think that's a really good value right there. Redraft? Hell no.
Nah. Bye week filler. Just wanted to cover all our bases. Regan,
Of course.
do you want to don't choke over here, please? Be
Yeah, you
careful.
saw that? I was like,
No.
Ah.
I see the team you're about to talk about. That's what I'm saying. Don't choke.
I was about to read them and I started choking. It was ridiculous.
Don't die at me, Regan. You'll never come back from it.
This is gonna be literally. I know. No. Anyways, if you can't get the jokes, we're talking about the 4th overall ranked in this division team.
Third. My bad.
Typo. That's me. 3rd.
Oh man, it's not as funny anymore. Sorry, well, they shouldn't have been ranked that high.
they really should have.
We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, guys. 7-10 last year in 2021. 3rd in the division. Key fantasy additions: Desmond Ridder. Don't pay attention to him this year, I don't think. Tyler Algier, a run back, and Drake London, wide receiver. We've already talked a lot about him with our rookies. Veterans, Marcus Mariota, who I think is just going to be the starter here. I could see Desmond Ridder coming in later on in the season if they really want to get him in there, but I think Marcus Mariota is going to have this be the QB at the helm the whole year. They also grabbed veteran running back Damian Williams. So the main fantasy targets on this team, I've already mentioned them. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Cordarrelle Patterson are the 3 guys you're really going to be going for. Drake London, I think he's going to be getting a lot of junk time. I'm thinking this team's going to be bad. That's what the word is. They're going to probably be one of the worst teams. Not that bad, but we'll see. But Drake London, I could definitely see him getting some garbage time points and something I'm actually not worried about drafting him. Kyle Pitts, no brainer. He's going to be an easy top 5 tight end this year. 1,000 yards last year. Hopefully he can get into the end zone more than a whopping 1 time. So that will boost him right up there. So I guess the best value I'm really seeing, though, guys, which I think is pretty wild. So the best and safest value is the veteran Cordarrelle Patterson, the wide receiver / running back, depending on what type of league you're in, but mostly running back now. His ADP is 87 overall. And he's the 35th running back off the board. That's pretty low considering how well he did weeks 1 through 14 last year. I believe he was the RB7 at that time. Guy absolutely killed it. The problem is the last 4 games, he was absolutely putrid, meaning your playoff time, he did not pan out for you at all. It did not work out, Cotton, as I would like to say. So that's pretty rough. His competition, Mike Davis, is gone now at Baltimore. Like I said, they got Damian Williams, and they drafted rookie Tyler Algier. Damian Williams, I could picture just taking over the Mike Davis role, kind of being a change of pace back, getting some goal line rushes and whatnot. But Tyler Algier is the guy I think is going to be a brute kind of mid-season to later in the season with early down runs and goal line back. He's actually a linebacker that got converted to a running back. We didn't talk about him, I believe, with our rookies. So just know he's a bigger guy, definitely the opposite of Cordarrelle Patterson. He definitely has, like he said, he's a linebacker, so he's got to get his vision there to be an actual running back, some that you probably would expect later on the season to come to him. So I'm expecting Cordarrelle Patterson, especially in the beginning, to be the stud. And really, like I talked about him being the safe pick, guys, he's going to be drafted. Cordarrelle Patterson is in the 7th or 8th round. And Ryan, would you expect him probably be at that time like your 3rd or 4th running back?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, probably running back 3. It's so hard for me with this backfield because, word on the street right now is that Tyler Algier might be the guy. He might be the lead back starting the season. I don't know how much you take stock into that because last year that was the story with Mike Davis and he absolutely shat the bed. So, Cordarrelle Patterson has only had one really viable, like fantasy viable season, and that was last year. And it was really like the first 9 or 10 weeks of last year. So I don't know how to feel about him this year. But yeah, if I'm taking him as like running back 3, running back 4, I'm feeling okay about that. I'm feeling okay.
Yeah, now that you say that too, this 7th and 8th round ADP is probably going to drop a little bit. And with that said, he's the, like I said, he's the RB 35 coming off the board. I think his ADP in floor is way above that. Not way above it, but definitely above RB 35. If he finished, if they give him even like half to three-fourths of what he did last year as workload, he's going to be in the top 15. Like I said, week 1 through 14 last year, he was RB7. So let's see if he gets all the work. And then this is something, you're like we talked about, we're glad we're not drafting so early. So let's see where this really pans out with who is the lead back, who's running with the ones more often and whatnot. So definitely something to keep an eye on. But if it comes to fruition that he's going to be the guy at the beginning of the season, I'm taking him, especially at that lower ADP that he's probably going to drop at.
One last thing I want to say about Cordarrelle Patterson as far as his usage, he's not like other guys where he's trying to prolong their career. He's at the very end of his career. So you're trying to ounce
30.
every last bit of him that you can and every last bit of productivity. So they're going to use him a lot. So
yeah, he wants to be used. Yeah. He's 30 years old. Great call. Take it easy, Mac. We're not talking about some. Never mind. I'm not going to be rude.
Your mom?
I can't. Wasn't going to say my mom.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Ryan's mom.
Perfect.
The one benefit
She's
I
a
see.
nice lady.
How dare you? She's a nice lady. One benefit I see is that he hasn't been used as much in his career. So is he 30 a regular running back, or he might have some gas left in the tank because he hasn't been beat up so much? I do like that, but looking at the ADP, I think I'd rather go Rashad Penny.
Oh,
or
for sure.
Tony Pollard. Take the chance on Tony Pollard becoming something, or Kareem Hunt.
I like Kareem Hunt PPR. The thing is with Cordarrelle Patterson, so we have to take into consideration he's a wide receiver first, necessarily. That's how he started off. So he does have a little bit of some backup, some backup play. He's just because he's not going to be running the ball 20 times a game, he might be getting 5 targets.
They'll line him up and everything, but they're not going to trust Algier with all the carries and not Damian Williams either. So he's their guy as their running back. And their win total is at 5. And that means they're going to run the ball a lot because they're not a good offense. And
it's Marcus Mariota. They're going to run the ball.
True. We'll see. All right. Anything else?
You don't really want many people from here. Like I said, Drake London, I'm kind of excited about his garbage time points. And he's going to be the number 1 receiver there other than Kyle Pitts. So I kind of like it. I feel like this team's mostly dynasty. Like they're 3 rookies, or great dynasty grabs.
They get a tank for a QB next year.
There you go. I have Desmond Ridder, so I hope
not. We'll see. They're going to have to see what he's made of.
He's my 5th quarterback, so it's okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Worth a shot. All right. Speaking of taking shots at people's heads, knees, the Saints.
Poor Brett Favre.
Bounty gate. I know. That was such a. I hated that NFC Championship game. I knew they were playing dirty too. So, New Orleans Saints finished 2nd in the division, 9-8 last year. Additions: Chris Olave. We talked about the rookie wide receivers, some of them, back in episode 10. If you want to get a breakdown on him, go listen to that episode. Veterans: Jarvis Landry, wide receiver. That's about it. Stacking up their defense, which reports from camp is that their defense is absolutely dominating. So look for them to be a top 3 defense this year if you still draft them in your leagues. All right. Chris Olave. His ADP is 111. So worth the stash. Hold on to him. If you draft him, wait and see what you got, at least for 4 weeks. Alvin Kamara. Is he getting suspended or not? We don't know. Do you guys know? Anybody in your sources telling you?
The only source I have is Ryan's mom, and she said she doesn't know.
Wow. Is that where the Jimmy G take came from too?
Yep.
She must have been distracted. So if he does have the suspension and you draft him, especially if you're drafting, say, next week, for those listening, take Mark Ingram later on as a handcuff. You're going to have to, because if he's out for 3 weeks or more, you're going to need that. I meant to put his ADP right there, if somebody could look that up for me, but his 22 plus points per game average in his great years, I think it's worth taking the shot on him that at that spot for that potential, depending if you can sacrifice that high draft pick capital on him. He always finishes in the top 10.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Mac. Right now, he's overall 20, running back 11. But obviously, if the suspension happens, that's going to change.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm talking like early right now before you get the news. I'm willing to take the shot on him. Once you find out exactly what it is, then you're going to have to weigh your options. But right now, I think it's worth the risk. Hopefully, it's just a couple games for you. Jameis Winston, quarterback. He should be the starter. If not, they got Andy Dalton. So luckily, these wide receivers, they're still going to be suitable no matter what happens. The Red Rocket can go out there and sling it, right, Regan?
You know it.
Michael Thomas. You might see some videos from camp overhyping him. He looks slow to me, guys. I'm all out on him. If you want more of a breakdown, go back to episode 17, I think. Danger Zone. You guys going to take him? You guys going to take Michael Thomas at all or no?
I'm willing to take anybody. The right cost.
Okay. I bet you are, you whore. Dwight, you ignorant slut. Anyway. A guy I really wanted to talk about, though, is Jarvis Landry. So apparently he's been killing it at camp. OTA's in training camp right now, besides the defense. But he's their best wide receiver out there. I wanted to compare him to Brandon Cooks. So now Brandon Cooks is getting kind of hyped. If for some reason you guys listen to other podcasts and read other stuff, I don't know why you would, but I do. It's all right. I admit it. So he is risen up in his ADP. Brandon Cooks is ranked at 20th wide receiver, ADP 53. Landry, he's at 51st wide receiver. His ADP is at 126, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Landry in the 11th round sounds much more appealing than Cooks in the 5th. All right, with the same amount of upside. So at that point where Brandon Cooks is at, I'd rather take Sutton at 57th overall, Mooney at 65, Marquise Brown at 54, depending on how his hammy feels, and then grab Landry in the 11th. Did you guys know Landry has 3 times as many top 12 wide receiver finishes than Cooks? It's 3-1. 3-1.
Was that like 12 years ago?
No, like I think like 4, 3 or 4.
So with Baker.
2019.
Yeah.
2019.
2019. Then before that was Ryan Tannehill. A couple of years before that. But anyway, he needs to get the volume. So Winston, he can throw it over 600 times. Mayfield, he was throwing 500 or below. Davis Mills, QB for Houston, he's probably got to throw it less than 500 times as well. So I want to take a guy that's going to get more of the volume. Yes, there's a threat of Michael Thomas coming out after 2 years of not scoring a touchdown, and he's going to light up the world. I'm not going to take my bet on that. Chris Olave, maybe he has a Justin Jefferson type year as a rookie. I don't know. I'm going to take the vet, Jarvis Landry, PPR machine, getting 125 plus targets, and he could not easily, potentially get into the top 15 of wide receivers if he gets enough volume and if Michael Thomas isn't there. So weighing the risk, not the risk, but the cost of Cooks in the 5th round, Jarvis Landry in the 11th, I want to take Landry. Have I persuaded you guys to leave Cooks alone and let him drop a couple more for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cooks is like a 7th, 8th round pick, which is where he was landing last year. That was good value. 11th, though, for Landry?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about it. I am annoyed with how Cooks has risen up. And he's okay. He's a good wide receiver 3. But you're not going for your wide receiver 3 ceiling in the 5th round. Get out of here.
Well, I draft like 12 of them, so
Cortland Sutton in the 5th round, he could be a top 12 wide receiver. That's what I'm saying. Mooney could be that with all the target volume that he should be getting.
Whoa, N'Keal Harry, bro.
Oh yeah, watch out, Byron Pringle.
Hey, we have to listen to you, Mac, after you sold Cook to us last year.
Yep.
It just made sense. So, all right.
But now the price is getting too high, so sell.
This is how it has to work with Jameis Winston, though. We know we don't want another 30 and 30 year. He's going to throw it underneath the Jarvis Landry so he looks better. Be safe with the ball a little bit, and he's going to have a shitload of targets. So,
you are giving Jameis Winston too much credit.
We want a 30 for 30 year. His coaching staff probably doesn't want one of those. That was a great year for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
It was. Absolutely. It was amazing. That's why I'm thinking Michael Thomas and Landry could work.
Thank you. Yeah, I meant to bring that up as well. He can very well support a passing down running back in Kamara who gets 80 receptions. But if he's going to be missing a few games too, he's going to need Landry, and he can support another top-end wide receiver if it's Olave or Michael Thomas. But I think Landry is a must to take away in your draft. Awesome. Ryan, you want to go down south for me?
Yeah, we're going to the deep south, baby. We're gonna fly all the way to Tampa Bay here, just like every aging superstar in the NFL does.
Or every snowbird from Massachusetts.
13-4 last year, first in the division. They bring in rookie running back Rachaad White this season, who's likely going to jump Keyshawn Vaughn for that second spot in the depth chart. So just keep an eye on him for a handcuff. Veteran additions: Russell Gage, wide receiver previously of the Atlanta Falcons, and Kyle Rudolph. So this is
tight end.
He is tight end. And he was last on the New York Giants, and he didn't really do much. So basically, guys, this is what I want to kind of talk about, and I figured it'd just be more of a discussion with the Bucs, because I think right now the biggest question with some of the news coming out is how are these targets going to be spread? You know, this team's going to pass a lot, likely going to be in the top 3 in the league in passing attempts. But now we're hearing Chris Godwin might be ready for week 1. You bring in Julio Jones. You have Russell Gage. You have Mike Evans. So those 2 latter guys, you thought their value was going to be great with Godwin out and no Julio Jones. Now it might be a little bit more cluttered. So Regan, what are your initial thoughts after the Julio Jones signing and the Godwin news?
My original thoughts, because when I saw it, I was doing a mock draft. I was like, ooh, I'm taking Tom Brady over Matthew Stafford. Got really excited. Julio in general, I'm definitely, pushing that to the side. I got really excited when I saw it, and I told you guys, I was like, Randy Moss 2.0. But I'm going to go Mike Evans, and I think Chris Godwin. I think those are the 2 guys where it's at. And Russell Gage and Julio will kind of split the secondary, third string catches. So I'm kind of staying away from those 2 guys. Chris Godwin, that's the best news that you mentioned. Like, I'm so pumped that Chris Godwin, as a player, can come back so quickly. So that's the guy I'm trying to get because of, he's been falling because of the injury. So Mac, do you feel different about Julio? Are you like pumping him up a little bit?
No, I mean, he made it through the first day of camp, so good for him. That's better than what he did with the Titans last year.
That's a good point.
I don't want to waste my time. Don't want to waste my time with him.
He always
Russell-
screws me over.
Russell Gage, you better not let me down, man.
I feel like Julio Jones is just going to be a player this year that just takes away targets from other guys who you want to see the targets go to, which is going to be kind of frustrating as a fantasy owner. Chris Godwin's ADP right now is 54, wide receiver 20.
Oof.
I mean, if he's healthy week 1 on, that's great value, right? Like this guy has top 12 potential. It's just, is he really going to be ready for week 1? I mean, that injury happened week 15 of last year.
Yeah,
That's
looking into
7
it more,
months.
man. I think I'm out on Godwin. I really
With
am.
that ADP, I didn't realize it was that high. That kind of
Yeah.
kills me.
Just with the ACL tear, it makes me nervous. The first year coming back, you'll have some flashes, but might be slow going.
Yeah,
I think it was
we've
only
talked about
that high, Reeks, because of the uncertainty around his timeline. So I think if it came out like, oh, wait, Chris Godwin is going to miss 6 weeks for sure tomorrow, I don't think he's getting drafted 50.
He'll plummet in ADP.
He's going to probably go with the wide receiver 28 to 30 range, wherever that round lands. Mike Evans, ADP 28, wide receiver 10. I still like that value. I still think he's going to get his work and he's going to get his touchdowns. He's going to have 1,000 yards and 10 plus TDs. And I think he's still going to be a top 12 wide receiver. This just might affect his consistency a bit. And then the last one I want to touch on, Russell Gage, his ADP is 115 and it's wide receiver 40, low end wide receiver 4. I still think that's decent value. Like I'm still probably taking a chance on Gage, especially if Godwin is trying to come back from injury, Julio goes down, and then you still end up with the Evans and Gage situation.
Think of Russell Gage as like the Danny Amendola or the Chris Hogan type wide receiver now. You're going to have a couple games where you got to flex them because Chris Godwin goes down or Mike Evans misses a game, something like that, where Julio gets out of here. That's what we're hoping. All right, not really hoping, unless you have Russell Gage. But yeah, look at him for that. Just a plug and play. He's not going to be a wide receiver 3 anymore, unfortunately.
I mean, listen, the pro here is that you don't have Gronk in the picture. You don't have OJ Howard in the picture. There's likely going to be less targets going to the tight end position. Kyle Rudolph is intriguing. He's a name that you might want to keep an eye on. He might be a guy that you might be able to stream here or there, but I don't know. He's certainly not getting the targets that Gronk was getting when Gronk was healthy. So I do think there's going to be more targets for the receivers. We'll see. And the last thing
if anybody can support 3 decent weapons plus a 4th as like the tight end, so we'll call Julio Jones the Gronk. It's Tom Brady. He can do that. He did it with Antonio Brown, who's much better than Gage. Did it with Godwin and Evans, and then he supported Gronk, who was a top 12 tight end when he was playing. It can happen, but with the news of the O-line getting hurt as well, I'm a little bit nervous. Another year older for Brady. I don't know. I'm thinking just the top 2, and that's it for me.
Well, listen, I'm about to calm your nerves a little bit with this last bit of news here.
All
because Fatty Fournette has turned into Lean Lenny, man. Went on the Atkins diet. He dropped 20 pounds. He's back to his
20 pounds
playing weight.
Yeah, so
that is not healthy.
No. The news, people were getting this confused. The news was from June that he was at 265.
That was a month ago.
Yeah, exactly. So he lost 20 pounds in a little bit more than a month. He's fine.
That's so
not a week. No, that's fine.
My dietitian wife would lose her shit.
And it's mostly water weight. It's fine. Probably just stop drinking.
No, it was like Pop Potter football. He's the only guy out there with trash bags over his shoulder pads and
sweatpants and a hoodie. Yeah.
Sweatpants, hoodie. It's 95 degrees. Definitely.
The only thing I wanted to say about this team is you guys run some banter. I didn't want to interrupt the nonsense. But it's just
you.
wild. We have to think about it. So Tom Brady made Gronk, Brown, Evans, and Godwin all fantasy contributors. He could easily do this with all these guys. The question is,
go ahead. Is there an echo? I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't know. But anyways, the question is, who's going to be that fourth guy? Is it going to be Gage, Julio, or Rudolph?
Didn't I just bring this up?
Yeah, but I'm asking you who you think it's going to be.
Who's it going to be? My
Yeah.
bad. Wow, I'm a prick. I'm sorry.
I could have told you that.
Yeah,
We knew that.
Who's going to be the fourth guy? I don't know.
Who's your thought? Yeah,
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just taking the top two, Godwin and Evans. I'm not.
Right.
I
Well,
don't
that's the question we take to the bank with these OTAs.
All right, fine.
Don't say it because you're gonna be wrong, and then I'm gonna get pissed.
All right, I'm gonna
Don't
bank on
sleep on
Gage
Scotty
with his
Miller.
health, or Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller, baby.
Holy dude, 5 receiver sets. We'll just do the bomb and Hail Mary from Blitz 2000 all
Nope.
day.
Hell yeah.
No.
Oh yeah,
We have
Tom
Fournette and Scott
blowing
Fishbowl.
shoulders.
We need him.
Oh no, he's gonna spread out the defense and he's just gonna run it up the middle, draw plays left and right. Yeah, amazing. Put that 20 pounds back, he just runs over those linebackers.
A 265-pound running back and the bomb. That sounds like NFL blitz for sure.
This is amazing. I'm gonna play that later. I have it.
Jealous.
I think that's the perfect spot to end right there. Little blitz reference.
All right, close it out. Bye, everybody. If you made it this far, the podcast, we appreciate it. Download the episode, rate and review where you are allowed to, and subscribe to us wherever you like to listen, consume our product, consume our tips. Guys, rank the division. I was trying to let it hang there.
Forgot about that.
Regan. Yeah, Regan. Rank the division for me.
Oh, I obviously Tampa, New Orleans. And then the last two is tough, guys. The last two is tough. I'm going to go Carolina, Atlanta.
I'm doing the same. Thank job. Mr. Matt Rule is fighting for a coaching job, so they're going to have to win some games. Atlanta's purposely taken. Yeah. Arthur Smith has one more year.
I want to get cute.
Of course you do.
Because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm going to do it.
You are cute.
Tampa Bay.
He's wearing those cheeky Haynes.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Tampa Bay, Carolina.
No, get out of here.
New Orleans, Atlanta. Yeah, you get a healthy C-Mac. DJ Moore is exploding. Yeah. Either Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield throwing for 5 touchdowns a game every 14 passes. And
14
yeah,
forgot about that.
Second in the division.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, Ryan.
As long as Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, sure. It's possible. It can happen. All right. Anything for the leftovers? I have too many, so I can't tell them all.
Well, you can take mine. I'll let you have 2.
No, it's okay. I was going to tie in 2 together anyway. Kind of like a chicken tender with the ranch dipping sauce as well in my leftovers.
Stop teasing us and
ranch?
Share.
That's gross. I love ranch, but not with chicken tender. Like you get that at like Chick-fil-A?
What do you use? Blue cheese instead?
No, I use Chick-fil-A sauce, bro.
No, well, I'm not talking about Chick-fil-A.
That's what came into my mind.
All right. So I have a draft next week, and it's a keeper league.
Oh, this isn't about food? Damn it.
Oh, no, I'm saying it's a leftovers. So I could either have Stephon Diggs in the first, Aaron Jones in the first, or Waddle in the 9th, or Gabriel Davis in the 10th.
What pick are you?
We don't know yet. We have a competition to see where we land.
Oh, you're going to lose that, so you'll be 12.
Then I think I would take Diggs.
The only player that's going in the first round that you mentioned is Diggs. That's usually how I weigh that kind of stuff out. But you don't want to take him 101.
No, if I'm the 101, no. I'm all set. I'm thinking Waddle or Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is looking good. All reports. So.
Would pick you get him at? Gabe Davis?
10th.
So 9 Waddle, 10th Gabe Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude.
It is
That's a
PPR.
tough
It is
one.
PPR, so I might go Waddle.
Safest pick is Waddle.
Yeah.
Safest pick is Waddle.
All right, what do you guys got?
Ooh.
Just
Go ahead,
started
Ryan.
watching that movie with Ryan Gosling on Netflix. Ryan Gosling and
That also narrows it down.
The Gray Man.
Lauren. So the Gray Man.
With
Yeah,
Chris
that'd be
Evans,
the
I
name
would have
of it.
gone with. It's Billy Bob, but all right.
Chris Wait, are you kidding me? Billy Bob's a legend, dude.
Oh, he
Also,
is.
like,
He is.
You know,
Bad Santa?
second main character probably. Yeah. So far, it's fine.
It's
Watch like
it's a
20
Netflix
do you-
movie.
minutes of it, turn it off.
How do you start a movie and not finish it on the same
I hate that.
viewing?
I can't.
I-
I hate
You a murderer?
if I can't. Sociopath.
That is ridiculous. I gotta stop this movie. I gotta
bored
go
with it.
crochet something.
I got bored with it. I put on a.
That's a good review.
It put on baseball.
Wow, you
game.
really. Hopefully not the Red Sox, because that would be much worse to watch.
Oh, Subway Series, man. Mets Yankees.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And we just lost a bunch of listeners. Regan, you all set?
Yeah, I'm good right now. Bring up my keeper one later.
Oh. You don't have anything else?
Nah. I put a drill through my finger. That was cool. That's about it. I got nothing, dude. I'm a dad now. Life's dull.
You got any more stories about your mom? You were talking a lot about her.
Wow. Round 2. Fight. Oh,
that's
man.
what she
Been
said.
holding that one in the whole episode.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Never mind. That goes along with it too. I can't
Yep.
say anything, guys. I can't
No,
say
you
anything.
can't. You can't.
These leftovers are horrible. These leftovers went bad. Let's just throw them away.
Good night.
Good night.